I'm going to make a longer version of this, going into very specific detail, but I just wanted to touch on this subject right now. It's talking about courting versus dating and why men used to pay for dinner. During the courting days, a man would call on a woman. She would sit with him and her mother or grandmother or aunt or somebody who watches over her for a spell in the sitting room. Then all three of them would walk to a cafe where he would treat the two of them. When he determined he liked the woman, he would ask her father for her hand in marriage. Her father would then set a dowry to be given to the man. Any dinners or treats the man had paid for the young lady and her chaperone would pale in comparison to the dowry. Dating is not courting. Dating, by definition, is intent to not marry a woman, not get a dowry, and not be chaperoned. There is absolutely no payoff in the end, and as modern times progress, deflowering the woman is the intended result of dating a woman. Also, from the beginning, dating and sexing a woman was by definition something you did to many women, not one woman. Women retaliated by trying to go back to courting and called for demanding that they be the only one dated at a time. So the entire dating thing is trying to go backwards, not forwards. Women now post-1970, post-sexual revolution, where women demanded to be able to have sex as much as men, cannot demand exclusivity when they have had multiple sexual partners. Only a virtuous woman could demand that. That's something you do when you haven't been deflowered and walk around with a chaperone. Women now scream double standard when they try to compare themselves to men's sexual proclivities. The irony is that they are trying to compare themselves to men in the first place. A prolific man can get 16 women pregnant in a day. By definition, a woman cannot compare to a man. Convincing women to compare themselves to men is a recipe for the destruction of society, not freeing women. I invite you to replay this video. Every word that I said, I chose carefully. I wrote a script for this. Here's the thing. Because of the way I grew up, I had specific instructions on how to court a woman because in my circle, we still court. I got out of 3 separate arranged marriages. That's my circle. So when people, lower class people say, oh, I'm dating this guy, or, oh, this ain't a man, or you ain't a man because you haven't paid for dinner. What are you talking about? You don't even know what you're talking about. You're making up rules as you go along. You're trying to do something from a society that you don't even belong to. Paying for dinner, but you're saying you're going on a date. I mean, it's so moronic. You can't have courting rituals post 1970 sexual revolution. You just can't have it. And I believe it's this confusion as to why we have what we have today with teenage pregnancy, people having children and not being married. You're trying to do something halfway, but claim to be doing something completely modern. Either you want to go have sex, have children, and raise a child by yourself, or you want to go back to courting and get married and having your father give permission for you to get married. You can't do both at the same time, okay? And you have stupid women who think that they're in charge of their little movement called feminism, third wave feminism, go lobby Congress and get Congress to, don't you understand that Congress is not going to give you something without taking most of the pie? If you come in and say, we want women's salaries to be raised, and Congress says, yes, we agree, you don't get it that somewhere there is an entire pie that they are taking and you're getting a little sliver. I know you don't care about that stuff. Anyway, I invite you to repeat this video and listen carefully to every word. Thank you for watching the Shikama Live Show.